What's up, YouTube? In this video, we're gonna talk about digital movie collecting. I wanna give you some tips and share my experiences with digital movie collecting, and hopefully it will help you guys get a better understanding of digital movie collecting and kind of learn some lessons from me, some lessons learned and how to approach movie collecting as you build your digital libraries. So I will start off by saying that digital movie collecting, I started, I want to say about 6 or 7 years ago. Started with digital movies, and through the years, I've learned a lot. And I could have gone, if going back now, thinking back now, I would have done things a little different. So I wanted to share some of those experiences, kind of some tips, and help you guys out build your libraries. So I'll start off by saying that when you build your libraries and you collect movies digitally, there's two main providers that you can purchase your movies. These are the two main popular providers: iTunes Movies and Vudu Collecting. So on the screen here, this is my iTunes movie collection. This is my iTunes account on my PC. And basically with iTunes, since they're owned by Apple, you can access this movie collection from any Apple device, whether it's an iPhone, iPad, Apple TV for your TVs, or on your computer using the iTunes app. So iTunes Movies is easily accessible with Apple devices. So one thing about iTunes Movies that I wanted to give you guys more information on. iTunes Movies, the nice thing about iTunes is they give you free 4K upgrades. That's a real nice feature, and I will tell you why. So basically, when you purchase a movie through iTunes, let's say 5 years ago, I would have purchased a movie. The 4K format was not as popular back then, so a lot of the movies were in HD. So 5 years ago, if I purchased a movie in HD, and now in 2022, there's most likely a 4K format available for that same movie. The nice thing about iTunes is they give you a free 4K upgrade, but you have to purchase the movie through iTunes. That's the big key here. If you want that free 4K upgrade, you have to purchase the movie through iTunes. So that's one lesson learned from me. Of course, back then 4K was so new that nobody knew too much about it. So going back, I would have probably purchased more iTunes movies. So what I did is my collection is a mixture of iTunes movies and Vudu movies and Google Play movies. So I'm gonna touch on that a little more later in the video. And then I will show you my Vudu collection, which Vudu itself has its benefits as well. I really enjoy both my collections, my iTunes movie collection and my Vudu collection. So I'll talk a little bit about both. So another tip for iTunes is whenever you're purchasing movies, iTunes has a lot of sales. Every Tuesday, every week, they have a $4.99 sale or a $6.99 sale. So if you're building your collection, I would, especially if it's an older movie, I would hold off and wait to see what's on sale for Tuesdays. Every Tuesday, check out that $4.99 sale rather than purchasing at full price, because honestly, like if you purchase movies on iTunes at full price, they're expensive. They're like $20 each. It doesn't matter how old the movie is. It's $19.99 is real common for iTunes movies, but if you wait for sales, they're $4.99. So I would advise you to wait for sales. Also, new movies. For example, if you go to the iTunes store and you browse new movies, the new movies, like day one release movies, are usually like $20, and then for Jurassic World Dominion, which is still in theaters, that's a $30 movie. If you can wait and you're not in a hurry to watch it, I would say wait till it drops in price. Usually all the new movies after a month or 2 months, they drop to $9.99 or so, but it's only on a sale price. So what I mean by that is, if you look here, let's see, under some of these new movies on sale, they usually have sales like Dune is $10, the new Matrix $10, Suicide Squad. So they have a lot of sales. And then, as I was saying earlier, there's a $4.99 sale every week. Every week there's a $4.99 sales. Several movies. And then some of these are in 4K, so this is nice to get a 4K movie for $4.99. And then you can also upgrade your movies. Like, let's say you already previously owned Man of Steel, which I own, so it's not going to show the price. You can actually gift yourself the movie, gift this movie, and then you can gift it to yourself and then rebuy it at $4.99, and then you get that 4K upgrade. So iTunes has a lot of nice features. It's a good way to build your library. The new Batman, $9.99. It's you just gotta watch out for sales. All right, so let me talk to you guys a little bit about Vudu. So this is my Vudu account. Vudu account is very similar to iTunes as far as, their setup, how they go about selling movies. Vudu, if you've never heard of Vudu, it also provides basically a store where you can purchase movies, and Vudu can be accessed on the internet here, like I have here, your computers, on any device, not just iPhones. This can be accessed on iPhones and Android. That's something that's different about Vudu. It can be accessed on all of them. Your iPads or any tablets and TVs. A lot of TVs, brand new TVs nowadays, come pre-installed with Vudu. There are several that come with the iTunes app as well, but Vudu is a little bit more diverse, and several TV makers have the Vudu app installed. Another thing is Vudu, it comes in your PlayStation devices, Xbox. It's just a little bit more diverse. So Vudu is a little bit more easily accessed. However, iTunes is kind of a more familiar name. So that's why I say Vudu is just as popular and equal as iTunes. So just like iTunes, Vudu has new movies, they have sales, they have their $4.99 sales, they also have their theater movies. Everything is very similar to iTunes. The one thing that I wanted to point out for Vudu is something to really think about so this is my Vudu account. They provide this service, a disc to digital service. This is really nice. This is a nice service here. What that means is, using your phone, any phone, whether it's an iPhone or Android, they have a Vudu app, and then you can scan the barcode of your Blu-ray movie. So let's say that you have a large Blu-ray collection, and you're just starting out with your digital libraries. This app allows you to scan the Blu-ray barcode on the back of your Blu-ray and upload it and convert it to digital HD. So if you see here, the pricing is Blu-ray to HD $2. That's a really nice price. Rather than paying full price to rebuy the same movie you already have on Blu-ray, it's nice that they offer this service. DVD to SD, I don't recommend this one because it's SD format, and then DVD to HD. So even if you own a DVD, you can scan it, but it's a little more, it's $5, but you're going from a DVD quality to a HD quality. So the best option here is Blu-ray to HD, of course. Really nice service. You can use your Android phone or your iOS, which is your iPhone. However, keep in mind that not all movies can be scanned. I'll go ahead and let you guys know that no Disney movie can be scanned. Disney definitely cannot be scanned. But any movie like before the year 2020, a lot of those can be scanned. There's still some that can't, but there's a huge library of movies that can be scanned. So this to digital option is a very good way to build your digital library. So once you convert it, it will add it to your Vudu account. So as I mentioned earlier, I have a Vudu account and an iTunes account. And then we're gonna talk about Movies Anywhere account, but I'll talk about that one a little further in the video. So I have a Vudu account, and my Vudu account's up to just pretty much over 2,000 movies, and that is the way I built my library. However, whenever you do conversions, it only converts to HD. So if you're a big 4K guy, you'll have to purchase the movies or a digital code. And that's the next tip that I wanted to talk about. So if you have a big Blu-ray collection library, you will notice that inside your Blu-ray, there is digital code slips. A quick and best way to start your movie collection is to use these digital codes. Just pull the digital code out of your Blu-rays and go ahead and redeem the code. Even if you have old movies that are like 5 years old or whatever, 7 years old, you can still redeem the code. About 90% of the codes still work. Even though this little slip says it expires in a year, that's not necessarily true. A lot of these still work. Not these, not the ones you're looking at on screen, but in your Blu-rays, a lot of them will still work. So I wanted to point out, as far as digital codes, touch on that a little more. Back then, like 5 years ago, a digital code slip used to include an iTunes code and an ultraviolet code, which it means Vudu. Now it's been converted. It's basically Vudu nowadays. But back then it was referred to as ultraviolet. So you used to get an iTunes code and a Vudu code, and you used to be able to redeem at both places. So if you have a slip that has these two like that, you can redeem it at both places. However, this is where I wanted to give you a tip. Remember, iTunes gives you the 4K upgrade. So even though I pulled this slip from a Blu-ray, which is, Blu-ray is not 4K, it's HD, redeem that iTunes code and you will get that 4K upgrade for free on iTunes. That is a real good benefit of iTunes. You get 4K free upgrades. So Vudu will give you the HD, digital HD, but iTunes will give you the 4K. We're gonna talk about how to upgrade 4K a little further in the video using Movies Anywhere. But as I mentioned, iTunes, if your digital slips have iTunes codes, they will give you that 4K. So that's a tip. Remember that iTunes gives you free 4K upgrade, even though it's a Blu-ray HD version of the movie. And the other thing I wanted to point out is, let's see, iTunes. We talked about Vudu. This to digital is a nice option. Okay, I think we're ready to talk about Movies Anywhere. So Movies Anywhere account. What is Movies Anywhere? Movies Anywhere came out of, I want to say around 2015 or so. And it started off as pretty much a digital collection of like your Disney movies. Like with Movies Anywhere, you were able to just redeem all your Disney movies and then have them all in one place. However, in 2018 or so, they decided to expand and they included more libraries. So they have added iTunes, they have added Vudu, they have added Google Play, they've added several. So if I click on my account, they have added several libraries. So now Movies Anywhere is basically a platform hub that links all your accounts. So if you started 5-6 years ago and you had an iTunes library, and then you've never had a Vudu library, go ahead and start a new Vudu library, and then this Movies Anywhere will link it and send and share all your iTunes movies with your Vudu account. What's nice about that is you can start using the benefits of Vudu, as I mentioned earlier. You can use that This2Digital service. You can grow your Vudu library. Then with this Movies Anywhere, it will link it and share those movies with your iTunes account. So even if you started off with exclusively just with iTunes, now you can grow it larger by adding more libraries. Say, vice versa, if you were a Vudu guy, a Vudu person, you can add the iTunes account, create a new one, and get the benefits of iTunes, which is 4 free 4K upgrades. And then with this program, Movies Anywhere, it'll link them and then transfer those 4Ks to your Vudu account. Very nice. It's nice that you can use both advantages of these two providers, the iTunes, the free 4K, and then Vudu's This2Digital. That's what I did, and I've grown my library to over 2,000 movies. So I wanted to share those tips with you guys as you grow your libraries. This is my Movies Anywhere account. It's all basically similar movies as to my other accounts. So my iTunes account, my Vudu account, and my Movies Anywhere library are very similar. There's still a few movies that are not shareable, that they won't transfer, but for the most part, I mean, a lot of them transfer and they're shareable. So as I was saying, just to recap, if you have everything linked, your Vudu account, your iTunes account, you can still use those benefits. So if I go to iTunes and I buy a $4.99 4K movie on sale, it will transfer to my Vudu account. It will go through Movies Anywhere because it's linked and then transfer to my Vudu account. Vice versa with Vudu, if I use their This2Digital service and start converting a bunch of movies for $2, it will transfer it to iTunes. So that's a good way to build your libraries using both advantages of both accounts. Movies Anywhere also offers another feature where you can share movies with friends. What that means is, like, if your friends have a Movies Anywhere account, you can share these My Screen Pass movies with them. They can watch any of these movies. It's a nice feature, but in reality, you can just give them your account access to this program and then they'll be able to watch the movies. So it's nice that you can like rent out movies to friends, but in reality, you can just give them your login and they can watch all these movies. Okay, more on Movies Anywhere. So back to the linking. Let's say that, as I was saying earlier, let's say you're an iTunes person and that's all you have. I would still recommend you do this. You set up a Movies Anywhere account and then link a Vudu account, a Prime Video account, because if you have friends and family members that have Prime Video, which a lot, let's just go ahead and say a lot of people have Prime Video because of the nice shipping services they provide. You can just link their Prime Video account and then they'll get all your movies. So with a family member, share your Prime, have them download this app and then link it with your iTunes account, and then they'll get all your movies. So it's nice. You can share with a family member. Vudu account, create a Vudu account if you don't have one. Share that with a family member. Google Play account, create a Google Play account if you don't have one, and then share that with your family members. So it's a nice way to just share your movies with other family members or friends. So I still recommend using this program, even if you're never gonna use Vudu, if you're never gonna use Prime Video. It's just nice that if you're exclusively iTunes, you can share with other people, other family members. So that's another tip. Let's see, what else do I want to cover? I think we've kind of covered everything. I wanted to keep this video not too long. Just wanted to make you guys aware of iTunes and Vudu accounts and Movies Anywhere accounts, how they work, what they are. what benefits of each account, and tips on how to build your libraries. So going back to iTunes, I think I mentioned this earlier, but I just want to recap one more time. Let's say like these Marvel movies. If you let's say you have a Blu-ray of Avengers Infinity War laying around, but it's only HD, right? If you redeem the code, make sure you redeem it in iTunes. Remember, if you redeem in iTunes, you get that 4K upgrade. That's interesting. It says HD, but I know I have it in 4K. But maybe my computer doesn't handle 4K. I think that's what it is. My computer doesn't handle 4K video. So I think it's just showing the HD. But just remember that tip that if you're able to redeem in iTunes, redeem in iTunes, because that's the best option. You will get a free 4K upgrade, and then with Movies Anywhere linked, it will transfer it to Vudu or Prime Video. Okay, here's another tip. As far as digital movie codes, these codes here. So a lot of people are, there's a lot of people that are still not into digital movie collecting. So whenever they buy a Blu-ray movie, they just like toss these or not use them, right? Actually, and there's also people that sell codes because they're not going to use them. So if you go online and you go to Facebook groups, you can type in digital movie codes, and there's going to be people selling them. If you go to Facebook groups or Blu-ray.com, the forums, there's people selling codes. A lot of older movies, like these old movies, the codes are only $2. They sell them for $2. A little bit newer popular movies like X-Men, these are probably like $4 codes. But the new movies that are out, people usually sell them for about $8, $9. So it's still a good savings and a good way to build your library. But just wanted to give you a tip that if you're going to be purchasing digital codes, make sure that that seller has an account history. They have an account, and then they also have a history of selling codes, because you don't want to try to buy movies from someone who's, just joined the Facebook group and is trying to sell you a code, because you never know, they might not be legit. So I would just buy movies from a trusted seller, someone that has a history and has a selling history. So just be careful with digital codes, but it is a nice way to build your library, because a lot of codes are just $2, $3. And then, as I mentioned earlier, if it's an iTunes code, you get that 4K. So you're basically getting a 4K movie for $2 or $3. So that's another way of building your library. All right, guys, I think I pretty much covered all the tips. If you have any questions, definitely comment down below. I can elaborate a little bit better. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe. And I'll be putting out a little bit more content on digital movie collecting, because more and more is becoming more popular with all the streaming services like Netflix and, everyone getting on the bandwagon like Hulu and all of those. Streaming is kind of the way everything's going. So it's just so convenient, being able to access it from any device. If you're on a trip, you can access your movies from anywhere. In my case, my 2,000 movies that I have, I can access them from anywhere. So definitely, here's some tips for you guys, and it's something as you build your libraries. So all right, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully that helped, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.